Creating value and claiming value can be presented as competing approaches in negotiation, but in practice they describe two different phases of the same process. One does not replace the other, and one doesn't work properly without the other. Value has to exist before it can be claimed. Creating value refers to expanding what is possible in negotiation. It's about identifying differences in priorities, constraints, timing, risk tolerance, resources, or expectations that allow the overall outcome to become larger or more flexible. Nothing tangible may change at this stage, yet the negotiation space grows. There is simply more on the table than before. Claiming value is about distribution. Once possibilities have been explored, decisions still have to be made. Someone gets more of one thing, someone less of another. This is where negotiation starts to feel competitive. Claiming value is not unethical or aggressive by definition. It's a necessary part of reaching agreement. The problem arises when this phase is entered too early on. A common mistake is to assume that the pie is fixed from the start. When that assumption is made, negotiations quickly narrow to a single issue: price, money. Conversations feel simple, even efficient, but also shallow. There's very little substance to work with and very little room to maneuver. Any concession feels like a loss because nothing new has been created to offset it. This pattern shows up frequently in salary negotiations. Discussions jump straight to numbers. I want more pay versus there's no budget. Both sides try to claim value immediately, yet important dimensions remain unexplored. Remuneration possibilities beyond base salary, development plans, timing, scope of responsibility, or longer-term progression are left untouched. The negotiation feels tight and frustrating, even when potential flexibility actually exists. The same dynamic appears in pricing and procurement discussions. Purchasers sometimes negotiate price reductions out of principle or process, not because doing so improves the deal for either side. The focus stays on claiming value, getting the price down, without asking whether other elements could be adjusted to create value first. The result is then often compromise without progress. Movement happens, but nothing actually improves. When I look at this, negotiations that skip value creation tend to sound flat and repetitive. Positions are exchanged, concessions are demanded, and frustration builds. Parties may give up something simply to move forward, yet receive nothing meaningful in return. The negotiation feels too simple because it's been made artificially small. What makes this particularly limiting is that creating value does not require agreement or trust up front. It requires curiosity and time that people often feel they don't have. Under pressure, it's tempting to move straight to claiming because it feels decisive. Yet doing so often guarantees that the negotiation will remain constrained. Creating and claiming value are therefore not choices between cooperation and competition. They're sequential phases. Value needs to be created, so there's something worth claiming. When that sequence is reversed, negotiations still happen, but they tend to be brittle, adversarial, and unnecessarily difficult. Seen this way, successful negotiators are not those who avoid claiming value, but those who delay it until there's enough value to claim. They expand the conversation first, and only then decide how to divide what has been created. Without that expansion, claiming value becomes a zero-sum exercise by default, even when it doesn't have to be.